Good morning, good morning, good morning. If only you knew how much God do love you. Oh, if only you knew how much God do love you. Oh, if only you knew how much God do love you. Good morning, everybody. God does love you, and I do too. Let me tell you, I just thank God for you today. I thank God for the many blessings that He's bestowed upon your life. And I want to remember, which I did not know, let's keep Sister Julia and her family in prayer this morning as she lays her father to rest. If I'm not mistaken, I didn't know, but I did read it, and I want Sister Julia to know that our prayers from Bishop Huffman Ministries are with you and your family. And if there's anything that we can do for you guys, please reach out to me, and we will do the best we can to accommodate that need. Again, we're thankful for you all today. For anybody else, Sister Emily, God bless you, darling. For anybody else that has lost loved ones, our family is praying for your family. And listen, you just got to let me know. Let me know. I don't mean to overlook anybody, but I want to know how you're doing, how the family is doing, and I want to take that time out to always be available, just in case you need to talk. I'm never too busy. I'll drop whatever I'm doing to be there for the people. Amen. That's my job. That's my job, is to go see the people, go talk to the people, and let the people know that they are loved not only by the Lord, but by us as well. And so that's what I do. So if I don't have your number, I can't call you, but my number is on my page, and all you have to do is call me. I'm never too busy. Listen, I'm more of a giver than I am a taker. I'm more of a giver because that's the kind of person I am. That's the kind of preacher I am. I'm not one who's just going to take. I want to be the one who likes to give. And so I've given to my enemies. I sure have. I've given to people. And I want to encourage you today. Invest in yourself. Invest in yourself. And I say that not to be selfish, but I need you to understand that nobody is going to love you like you and God love you. There's nothing wrong with making sure you're good. There's nothing wrong with that. And I want to encourage you to seek after the things of God. I was talking about this morning retirement. And brothers and sisters, let me give you my observation on retirement. Retirement is good, but when you're dead, you've retired. Some of us may not live to see that retirement age. And all I'm saying is, good morning, Sister Kelly. How you doing, darling? Hey, Sister Carla. All I'm saying is enjoy your life now. So many people, and this is why I say that. I remember a young man, he was in his 20s, early 20s, had a great job, bought a nice house. The house wasn't finished. He had just gotten married, and you know, everything that everybody expected him to do and wanted him to do. He worked really hard and blah, blah, blah. Walked in his house and dropped dead where he stood. at 20, in his early 20s. Everything that he had worked for, he never got to enjoy. He spent so much time trying to make it that he never made it. When I look at how life is now, you need to take some time for you to enjoy. Do not wait for somebody to take you somewhere. Do not wait to enjoy the life that God has given you on purpose. You know, it doesn't take a lot of money for you to enjoy yourself. It really doesn't. And for you to be around the right people. See, here's my thing. I don't want to be around people that are miserable in their own lives and don't want you to be happy in yours. I love to laugh, I love to eat, and I love joy. And here's the thing. If you want to be happy, then you have to be around in an environment that's going to produce that. What good, and the Bible says this, what good does it profit a man to gain the world and lose his soul? Listen, I'm not trying to lose anything. I've lost enough dealing with losers. Loser relationships, loser friendships. I'm not trying to do that anymore. I'm not trying to go backward. I became a lot better when I seen and I recognized how bitter the people around me was. I did. I become a lot better. And you will discover you will be more happier when you leave or when you cut off the hindrances than you were with the ones that's trying to help you. Because not everybody that's trying to help you loves you. There's some folks that are offering you things just so they can get something in return. They don't really care about you. They just know that you're able to do things that they can't. So they use you for profit. Good morning. Good morning, Sister Briggs. Can I tell you, if you're going to be better, you've got to stop letting people make you bitter. Just move on. Stop doing things out of habit. We have a bad habit of not changing protocol because, well, you made a promise. Well, hold on. Now, God promised you He would never leave you nor forsake you. I can't make that promise. I'm being honest and I'm being real. I'm not going to promise you that I'm going to stay through your stupidity. I'm not doing that. Don't expect me to be your punching bag and then turn around and pray for you. There's some things you need to change. Your pride has become your problem. And when you are proud, people, can I tell you, people will distance themselves from you before they accept deliverance from God. You're easier to ignore than themselves. People don't want to talk about themselves. They don't want to look at themselves, but they always want to point a finger at you. And so why would you want to invest in somebody that doesn't even value you? A person who doesn't value a friendship or value a relationship won't make any effort to prolong it. When they stop speaking, when they start separating, that's the sign that the situation is done. It's over. And you might as well realize that you need to renew your strength because you've invested in the wrong people for way too long. The sun is shining on you. Why aren't you enjoying the sun? Everything that you wanted to do, you have put on hold waiting for somebody else. I'm not waiting for nobody to treat me good when I can do it myself. I'm not waiting on an invitation when I can go somewhere on my own. I don't need a recommendation for an invitation that's only going to cause me devastation. I don't need that. Neither do you. You are so much more. You are so much more than what people are doing. You're more than that. You're more than how they treated you. And until you can see yourself being better, you're always going to treat yourself just like they treated you. Folks get upset when you change your mind about yourself. I'm not going to be silent. I'm not going to bow. I'm not going to lay down just so you can feel comfortable in being you. When folks makes a choice to stay in situations that will not change them, why are you trying to fix it? You've wasted years giving advice to people who still don't want to advance. You wasted your time talking. I love being the outcast. Here's the thing, the joy for me about being an outcast person or an outcast preacher. Number one, all my life I've been an outcast. Number two, when people told me that I couldn't do anything or that I would never amount to anything, I didn't listen. I always heard God's voice when I couldn't hear I couldn't hear nobody else. I chose to ignore people because here's the thing, sometimes your own blood becomes contaminated, if you catch my drift. We come from families that expect you to stay around even though they're not doing anything in their lives. They want you to follow the same pattern. Oh, no. That's not what I do. Because I already know the expectations of my town. I know what the expectations of certain family members were because we all had them in our family. Some of them didn't like light skin. Some of them didn't like you because you was dark skinned. Some of and those aunties and those uncles or those people that said those little negative things to you as a child that you didn't forget as an adult, never expected you to do anything in your life, so they never offered to help you, but they'd help your brother or they help your sister or they help somebody else's kids in the family, but they never would help you. See, sometimes you got to learn how to leave them in order to find you. And people who hasn't experienced that will always assume, well, you just have an attitude. No, I don't have an attitude. I just recognize your type. I recognize you because I experienced this from my own family. And so when I see people that act stuck up, that want you, here's the thing, I will never participate in anybody's event based on their conditions. Well, you know, if you want to do this, you got to do that. No, I do not. I'm man enough to think by myself and think on my feet. I've never had to lay down on my back to have a thought. And that's what pisses a lot of people off about you, is the fact that you can say what you need to say, be happy about it, while they gone off mad, all upset. That's the reason why ain't nobody helping you. Well, I don't recall asking anybody for any help. I think you're upset because you need help and your pride won't let you ask. I don't need anybody to take care of me. I don't need anybody to put anything in my pocket because I can do it by myself. That's relationship-wise or friendship-wise. And so when people think that you need them, that's when they treat you like crap. This is the reason why I don't depend on no pastor for an invitation, because I can preach by myself. You can live life by yourself and love yourself until God sends you the right one to love you. Don't ever bow down, bend, or beg anybody for what God has already given you. You don't need their pulpit. You don't need their recommendation. Matter of fact, you don't even need their love. If you got the love of God, who cares what anybody else? Jesus said, if I be for you, then who can be against you? Baby, there's so many people against me, but the more people that are against me, the more I discover that God is for me. You hate me because I speak my mind, but I love you because you can't speak yours. You hate me because I'm man enough to tell the devil he can go to hell and mean it and walk away and still have everything I've got because God gave it to me. Satan didn't give it, so Satan can't take it. You can't say that because you get mad at anybody that disagrees with your logic or your level of living simply because you are dependent on somebody's love. I'm not. I depend solely upon God. And so here's the thing. You can't expect people to be a blessing to you when you ain't a blessing to nobody. See, the one thing that I always look for, are you being a blessing or are you becoming a burden? And I don't mean helping people that can't help themselves. I'm talking about folks who are constantly in need, always in need, and never able to help themselves. Every time you look around, they got their hand out, but they never have their hand up. They come to church looking for help. They come to your house looking for help. They go to hell looking for help. And what's sad, they have an attitude because of the choices that they made in their life. So they always look for somebody to blame, and you just happen to be the one to blame. I blame you for the choices that I made. I blame you for having all these kids and no husband. I blame you for being grown. Well, wait a minute. Wait a minute. You knew you was gonna grow up. You knew, had you listened to the words earlier, you thought somebody was jealous of you. Baby, wasn't nobody jealous of you. You're the only one that fell for the fool that fooled you. So you can't blame nobody but yourself for that. Your problem was never me. Your problem has always been you. Your logic, your idea, and a lot of things that your parents taught you were wrong. That's the reason why you've been in so many relationships, because your mama couldn't hold on to hers, your daddy couldn't hold on to his, and now here you are, the same pattern 20 or 30 years later. Now you can't even hold on to yours. Why is that? Because you got this mentality, you got this mouth that you've inherited, this same spirit that you've inherited, and now your life is miserable. You want to put somebody through the same hell that you've been putting yourself through for years. Ain't nobody doing that. Don't nobody want that, male or female. Don't nobody want that type of mess. Stop letting people put their stupid stipulations on you because ain't nobody studying them. I find people think because they cute, because they look good, that they can treat you any way they want. Baby, I don't care how good you look. You don't matter to me, and neither does your money. Can I tell you, I look good too, but I know how to treat people. I love when folks doubt you. When people doubt you, that's when God delivers you in front of your doubters. I love a hater. That's why I have them. I thank God for my haters. My haters help me realize who I am. I don't hate you back. The more you hate me, the more God blesses me. The more blessings that I receive, the more you're going to hate. Why? Because I'm not asking you for it, and I'm not including you in it. My blessings were not included for my haters. Remember, if they hated me, they hated God. Jesus said if they hated me, so yeah, they're going to hate you. So I'm not surprised at my haters. I'm just as surprised at who they were. I was surprised at how many folks that said they loved me when actually they were just undercover haters. And what's funny, your haters are usually the ones who have more than you and hate because your words have more weight than they stuff. So it doesn't bother me. Yes, I'm very solid in who I am. And here's the thing. When when anybody can't control you, I'm not a narcissist. I've been around narcissistic preachers, pastors, deacons. Now, you might control your woman. You might talk to her like she trash, or she might talk to you like you trash. You ain't gonna talk to me that way. Oh, no. See, if we can't sit down and have a discussion, then we can't. See, if you're not mature enough to talk, to me without all the cussing, without all the raising your voice, and without trying to shake your neck and point your finger and things like, my mama didn't do that. No, I didn't take that off my mother. No, sweetie, here's what you need to understand. I'm not your dog. I'm not your man. And so don't get it confused about what your role is in my life. That's why I'm telling you, love your life. And if the people in your life don't love you, why are you still fooling with them? If your pastor don't love you, Why are you still giving them tithes? Why are you still giving them offerings? What good is it going to do? You see, we've been conditioned to believe that if we can't achieve love one way, we can buy it another. I've never paid for love, ever. Even from my kids, I've never paid for love. And so some of y'all are quick to talk about, well, I ain't going to pay for no love either. Well, can I tell you, some of us have. When you was in the world and you went to prom, when you was in the world and you was trying to sex, who paid for the hotel? Who paid for the room? Somebody did. So at one point in our life, you paid for love somewhere. You bought somebody, you took somebody to dinner, and you had motives, and you used your money to do what you did. At some point in your life, somewhere you've paid to sin. You paid for somebody's affection. Some of us just grew up and realized that all we did was put a down payment on our problems. That's what we did. Now, you can act all holy if you want to and pretend that you never done anything, but we all know that we've all sinned and come short of God's glory. So at one point or another, Satan has used us in some type of way. The thing I'm trying to tell you is today, you don't have to stay in the shape that you in, nor do you have to deal with trash that put you in that shape. And I did say trash. Why? Because there's a lot of trashy people. There's blue-collar trash. There's white-collar trash. There's educated trash. There's even high-class trash. Which trash are you dealing with? You have to know your trash in order to know what dump to take it to. Not every dump site accepts everything. So you need to know what type of trash you're dealing with, so that way you know what dump to put it in. You know what can. Will it fit in a can, or have you become the can that it's trying to fit into? So you have to ask yourself, how important is your life to you? Because see, a lot of people don't think they trash. They just don't realize it. Now, Bishop, you call people names. No, Jesus called them stiff-necked, slow bellies. See, when you're mentally slow, and I'm not making fun of people, I'm talking about, but when you are spiritually slow, mentally slow, you're going to become physically slow, which means you're going to adapt to what everyone else is doing because you don't see any other way out. So you become comfortable in the chaos. See, that's where we get to a point to where, well, I'm just trying to fit in. God didn't tell you to fit in, and don't lie on God and say, well, I'm just trying to do what's right. Jesus didn't try to do what was right with these people. Jesus did what was right according to his will. You have to realize that not everything you're doing is God's will. You just want to fit in. And so what you need to ask yourself is, fitting in with a fool worth the losing of your faith? See, it's easy for you to judge a sin, but it's hard for you to recognize when you're doing it or when you're sinning. So hey, Angie, how you doing, baby? So here's the thing. Either you're going to be proud of yourself or you're going to become a problem for yourself. If you never try anything new, then you're always going to stick with what's old. Well, Bishop, now you know what's old always worked for me. Well, you know, for me personally, I don't deal with old stuff. I try to refurbish it. I always look for new ways to improve, because sometimes, brothers and sisters, fallen traditions become a tragedy for people. And it's tragic when you can't see any other way except all you know. Well, that's all I know. That's all I've ever done. And that's all you're going to do. But when you get around a person that's never had it, like me, I've never had anything in my life, but I choose to. And so this is the reason why I make decisions not based on where I come from, but I make decisions based on who I've become. Because see, where I come from said, well, you ought to stay in the projects. You ought to stay where your family is. You ought to stay comfortable. You ought to stay. You just keep putting up with the trouble. You just keep on letting them mistreat you. And that's God's will. Well, no, see, I see myself differently. I'm better than where I come from. What do you mean? I came from poverty. So that means I'm better than that now. I don't choose to believe that way. I choose to believe that if God be for me, then who can be against me? So that means God says, if you would humble yourself in due time, he will exalt you. So don't get mad at my exaltation. Just get mad because you're still exhausted for not being where God wanted you so he could promote you. So stop apologizing for where God has placed you, because he kept his promises. It's the people you dealt with that lied to you. God bless you. God keep y'all. Have a great day. And I'll see you all tomorrow.